Let's talk about a pattern, a really strange and powerful pattern that seems to repeat itself throughout modern history. It's a cycle of massive global change. And as we're about to see, understanding this pattern might just give us a whole new way of looking at one of the world's biggest pressure points right now, Iran.
History doesn't just unfold randomly. It has a rhythm, a kind of pulse. And if you look really closely at the last century or so, you'll see that about every 36 years, this incredible tension starts to build up all across the globe.
And then, something just breaks. And I'm not talking about a little crack. I mean a deep, systemic fracture. A moment where the world as we know it starts to dissolve right in front of our eyes. So what is driving this thing? Well, it happens to line up with the alignment of two planets, Saturn and Neptune. But hold on, let's be really clear here. This is not about astrology telling your fortune. It's about a historical pattern, an echo that's just gotten way too loud to ignore.
Okay, so let's actually trace this pattern back. We're going to look for these key moments where the old world just fell apart and something totally new and often really chaotic rose up to take its place.
All right, think about 1917, right in the middle of a world war. The entire Russian Empire just collapses, and this radical new ideology is born. Now, jump forward 36 years to 1952. The world is scrambling to rebuild after yet another war, and brand new power systems are being locked into place. And then, you guessed it, 36 years after that, 1989. The Berlin Wall comes down, and the whole Cold War system starts to unravel. See the pattern? Each time, a major structure of the world just gives way.
So what is the common thread in all of this? Every single time this alignment happens, the solid, dependable structures of the world start to weaken. The very beliefs that hold everything together get challenged. And out of all that confusion, a new reality starts to bubble up.
But why? Why does this happen? To really get it, we have to look at the symbolic clash that's right at the heart of this thing, the epic battle between structure and illusion.
Okay, here's the core of it. On one side, you have Saturn. Think of it as reality, order, control, all the systems and rules we build. But on the other side, you have Neptune. That's illusion, dreams, ideology, the powerful beliefs that have the power to just dissolve those very systems. So when they align, it's like this cosmic collision between what is real and what we believe is real. And the result of that collision? It's like a kind of societal vertigo. The systems we trust suddenly lose their clarity. The line between truth and fiction gets all blurry. And in that moment of collective confusion, people start to question absolutely everything. So here's the main takeaway, the crucial point. This is not about planets predicting what will happen. This is about using a pattern to identify moments of extreme pressure on the system, moments where the world is just ripe for a fundamental, ground-shaking change. Which, of course, brings us to today. As this cycle starts coming around again, the pattern suggests we should be looking for the weak points, the pressure points in our current global system. And right now, if you follow the lines of economic, political, and social stress, a whole lot of them seem to converge on Iran. I mean, just think about all the factors at play. Inside the country, you've got immense economic strain and major social unrest. Outside, it's at the dead center of escalating regional conflicts and intense global power struggles. And all of this is happening while the world itself is shifting. Alliances are changing, and the entire game of energy politics is being rewritten. It is a perfect storm of pressure.
But let's be really clear about this. The cycle isn't targeting Iran. History shows us these moments don't pick a target. They just expose the biggest fault lines in the entire global system. And today, because of its unique position, Iran has become one of the most visible of those fault lines.
So the next alignment in this cycle hits in 2026. And this one is a really big deal. There's a very specific reason why some people are calling this one a potential reset for the entire global system.
It all comes down to this number, 0. The alignment is set to happen at 0 degrees, which, symbolically speaking, represents a massively powerful new beginning. This spot is known as the Aries point. And symbolically, it's a starting line. It's like the universe is firing a starting gun. Think of it less as a single event and more like the beginning of a completely new chapter for the stories and systems that run our world. But, and this is a huge but, a reset does not mean you get a clean slate. These transitions are the exact opposite of clean. They are chaotic, they're uncertain, and they are deeply unstable. It's that messy period where the old rules just don't work anymore, but the new ones haven't even been written yet. And all of this leads to the ultimate question, doesn't it? What is going to break next? And maybe more importantly, how does this kind of massive change actually happen?
When we look back at 1917 or 1989, the biggest consequences were not obvious right away. When the Berlin Wall fell, people didn't wake up the next day and say, well, guess the Cold War is over. No, that was just the first major crack. The real, true impact of these shifts often takes years to become clear. So this process seems to unfold in stages. First, you get exposure. The weaknesses in our systems and power structures are suddenly visible for everyone to see. Then comes the questioning, as people's belief in the old stories starts to crumble. And finally, over time, all that pressure forces reality itself to be reshaped into something new. So, as we get closer to 2026, maybe the question we should be asking isn't just, will history repeat itself? Maybe that's the wrong question entirely. I think the more important question is this. What foundational structures in our world are already beginning to fracture right now in ways that we just can't see yet? Because if this whole cycle teaches us anything, it's that the biggest changes, they happen quietly until all of a sudden, everything is different.